Dakal Salamat. The reason I'm here today is because of my grandfather. He was a member of the Philippine Scouts and fought during World War II. It's because of his sacrifice I'm here today, and I'm fighting hard to make sure his story and his legacy is never forgotten.
In Blood Debts, we tell the stories of choices and sacrifices to pay back what is owed and pay forward something of value. I'm your host, Lizelle Tenglao. On this podcast, we talk about one of the few through lines in people's lives, debt. You'll hear stories from the Filipino diaspora around how debt has impacted all aspects of life, from those in the medical field, the public service sector, to technology and the creative arts. As a journalist, I've spent more than a decade reporting on the financial aspects of debt in diverse communities, but many people carry debts beyond money. In this special bonus episode, we focus on our Filipino World War II veterans who sacrificed their lives to ensure our freedom more than 75 years ago. On a personal note, thanks to the work of retired General Major Antonio Taguba and the Filipino Veterans Recognition and Education Project, FilVetREP, my grandfather, Apolonio Macolino Guzman's service in World War II as a member of the Philippine Scouts is being recognized with a Congressional Gold Medal. FilVetREP has been awarding eligible veterans and their next of kin the Congressional Gold Medal that followed an inaugural presentation by the U.S. Speaker of the House of Representatives on October 25, 2017.
The Congressional Gold Medal is one of our oldest traditions here in the Capitol. It is the highest civilian honor that this body can bestow. Today, pursuant to S. 1555, we award this medal to the Filipino veterans of World War II. I don't have to tell you that this is a day that is long, long overdue. Everyone knows about Pearl Harbor on December 7th, 1941, but perhaps lesser known is that within hours, Japanese forces also invaded the Philippines. And under command of General MacArthur, American and Filipino forces fought side by side to stave off the invasion. All told, 250,000 Filipinos answered President Roosevelt's call to duty. Most had no formal training. Many had never even picked up a weapon before, but they risked, and in the case of so many, gave their lives fighting under our stars and stripes.
I am Celestino Almeida, a 100-year-old veteran of World War II. I have waited along with my Filipino and American soldiers for this moment to come. After the war, thousands of us felt underappreciated and unrecognized for fighting for our country. I wondered why and what else could we have done in defeating the enemy, in defending the United States of America, and bringing victory during a long war in the Philippines. But we stand loyal to our country, relied on our faith and prayer. We thank the Lord for watching over us throughout this long ordeal. In the words of the Soldiers' Creed, I am an American soldier. I am a warrior and member of a team. I believe I serve the people of the United States. I will always place the mission first before all others. I will never quit. I will never leave a fallen comrade behind. To my fellow soldiers, present and many who could not be here, to our families, thank you for sharing this glorious day. As the saying goes, old soldiers never die. They just fade away.
And on the importance of that recognition, here's retired General Major Antonio Taguba.
But when someone like our country, that dates back to July 1941, and even before that the President of the United States mobilized every able-bodied Filipinos and Americans that were there in the Philippines to defend the United States. He didn't say defend the Philippines. He said the United States, because the Philippines was part of the United States then. So you're asking them sort of like a favor that will cost them their lives to do this for the country. And there was a promise made to them that we will take care of you and your families after the war. Well, you might want to consider that as a debt. But they didn't consider that as a debt. They look at that as an obligation and a commitment to save their country and to save their families. But then, when it was time for them to get that sense of recognition after the war, the debt was not repaid, but made it more dramatic and made it more longer, and there's a sense of a betrayal. And that's the debt that has never been repaid in full. What I mean by that is they had to protest, they had to submit applications, they had to prove their worth, they had to prove that they did serve the country, and that the benefits was owed to them. Well, even to this day, that debt has never been paid in full. So it was on them, the veterans and their families, over a period of 70 years, to try and claim what was rightfully theirs. That's the reason why we're doing what we're doing today, is that we did to reclaim that debt a little bit, not to reclaim, but the benefits, by having them be recognized by Congress in 2017. For us, children in the second and third generations of future generations, was to be their voice, to educate people that there was a debt that was owed to them. And the debt can only be repaid by actions that the country, our country, and the government should provide for them. Not necessarily monetary, but to make them more relevant today and to recognize them in perpetuity. That's, it has, money has something to do, but $15,000 or $9,000, that 18,000 of them were paid back in 2009 and 2010, and even today, it's not enough. Recognition and relevance has no value. Has an immeasurable value, I should say, that has no price attached to it.
There are many sides to debt. This series intends to take you on a journey through defining and redefining debt through the stories of Filipinos in the diaspora. That's all for this episode. Thank you for listening. To find out more about the series and upcoming episodes and resources, visit blooddebts.com. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Blood Debts is produced and hosted by me, Lizelle Teng Lao. This series is a legacy project of the Filipino Young Leaders Program. Shout out to FilPro Batch 8. This series is dedicated to all those who struggle to talk about uncomfortable issues. And for all those who ever felt overlooked. I see you, I hear you.